Right, hiya lads and lasses, and welcome to Darts Coaching with Dynamite Dave. Well, so branching off into a little bit of some more entertaining type videos as well as the instructional videos. And what we're going to be talking about today is a young chap called Callum Reston. So Callum Reston is a young lad. He sent me some darts, some flights, and it's the Condor. He's sent me the Condor Zero Stress and also the Condor Axe. Why he sent me these is he's like absolutely bowled over with them, like I am about the click system. He's as enthusiastic about these as I am about the click system, which is fantastic. I like to see a bit of enthusiasm in the game, and it's really good to see. Now Cal, the reason why he loves these is he saw Devon Peterson just before the lockdown. He saw Devon Peterson throwing in one of the competitions with the Axe flights, and that aroused his interest in the Condors, and then he went on to watch the reviews by Darren Watson on the Darts review channel, and then what he did was he decided to get himself some. So he got some. He got the Zero Stress ones to start off with, and he was impressed with them, which, like I say, I'm not over the moon with them, but I do understand the idea of where they're coming from. It's a good idea because they're meant to be memory. So basically what they're meant to do is bend out of the way when your darts come in to impact the board. So your first one goes in, your second one comes in. If it tries to push the dart out of the way, sometimes you can get a deflection, whereas if the dart is a little bit more forgiving, the dart may still go into the treble 20 and the other flight and stem combination can move out of the way. And that's what these Zero Stress things were all about in the first place. But they've now been superseded by the Axe. Again, you've got Devon Peterson and D'Souza, Jose D'Souza. Those two dart players use the Condor system. Matt from Atomic Darts, he swears by them as well, so good enough for me. If enough people say that they're good, I'm prepared to have a go with them and do a little bit of a test. So getting back to the main subject, Callum sent them to me, and what I've done is I've labelled them up. I made a bit of a mistake when they came up. I put the wrong tickets on the wrong ones, and I gave the credit to somebody who I shouldn't have done really, but that was only in one video. But it's just to make sure, so you know now when I actually throw them, that it's not actually Paul McGuff who sent them. He sent me some points, which I'll be doing a video with in due course. Right, so I think what we better do is, without further ado, is we'll go down and we'll get the camera set up, and what we'll do is we'll do like a little bit of a review. So we'll have a close-up of them where the camera's pointing down, and we'll have a look at those flights in depth, and then what we'll do is we'll come back up into the thing of the studio and we'll chuck them for you. So we'll do a little bit of a section there. So this should be a 15-20 minute long video, but I think it hopefully will captivate you, and it should be really informative and hopefully very entertaining. Right, so let's go over into section 1 right now. What I'm going to do this morning is we're going to have a quick look at these Condor Flights. As I've said on many an occasion, if people send me stuff, I'll review them. So Condor Flights, we've got two different sorts. Now Callum has used these for quite a while, and he absolutely swears by them. Right, so what we're going to start off with is the Condor Zero Stress, which are the first ones that Callum used. Now I've got Callum's thoughts. We've been in conversation with each other, and I've got his thoughts on them and what have you. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to convey a little bit of what he said about them and a little bit of my own opinion. Obviously what I'm going to do when we finish doing this little section is I'm going to go upstairs into the studio, and what we're going to do is we're going to chuck them on the two different sets on the same set of darts. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at the progress from, these are the older ones. I suppose it depends on a price point, and these on a price point don't seem to me to be good value. If you're buying separate stems and flights, you get the opportunity to swap them around, so for a couple of quid basically, whereas obviously these are far more than that. I think these work out at about £6 or £7. You'll be able to see on the screen how much these retail for at the moment. So those are the Zero Stress ones, and the model that have superseded these are these little babies here. These are the Axe, and I believe that these are super tough ones. We've not had them out of the box yet, but these are the super tough ones. So these are the hard plastic ones, which seem to make a little bit more sense to me. Right, so Condor claim on the back of the box that these are the next generation flight for the 21st century. So obviously that's something that we're going to have a quick look at today and have a look and see whether we consider these to be a good investment, because again what we'll do is we'll project up here how much they are, and as you can see these are whether they're value for money or not we'll find out over a long-term test, and I think that's what we're going to have to do with them, is a long-term test. Maybe not now, but maybe in a couple of weeks we'll start a long-term test with them, but we're just going to give them a little bit of a review today. And also some of the Simon Whitlock barrels that he uses, and again swears by. I've used these barrels before, and I've also used the ones with the purple on them, which I find have got a slightly less of a dip in them here, which I find slightly easier to throw. These I can throw no problem at all, but I just find the purple ones a little bit less extreme, if you know what I mean. Right, and that's the 3 barrels. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to build these up, so what we can do is give them a chuck and have a bit of a weigh up of how they actually perform. So let's go and do that right now. Right, so here we are up in the studio. What we're going to do now is we're going to make up the Carl Reston total package, and what we're going to do is throw it with the 2 different flights on it, 2 different flight systems. We're going to throw it with the old zero stress Condor Flights, and then we're going to throw them with the Condor Axon, which is the actual setup that he uses at the moment. So let's see if Dynamite Dave can chuck them. Right, so let's get on with that right now. Right, so first of all, what we've done is we've got the zero stress out of the box. These are what they look like. Basically, they remind me of the old 1970s, 1980s, well, to the late 60s I suppose, when I was a little nipper. They used to have little brass darts with yellow plastic flight stem combinations just screwed into them, and that were the only things that you could get for them. And these seem to have gone full circle and back to there. These are, like, they call them zero stress because they're wibbly wobbly, aren't they? See, now this is what I was talking about. Right, if you look at that flight and stem there, if I hold it like that and I bend it like that, look, it doesn't go back to its memory, but not as we know it. As you can quite clearly see, that has got a banana in it, and that's just with one pull to the side. So as you can imagine, as these say they get dropped on the floor and whatever, you pick them up, you go back to the hockey, go to throw again, your dart's going to go through there like that because they're not straight. Right, so let's have a chuck of these then. First handful, and we've got them built up on the Carl Reston Simon Whitlocks. So, oh, dart's already in board, I better take them out, man. That was a 161 finish from one of the coaching videos I've just filmed. Right, so here we go. First handful with these, with this combination on. As you can see, they seem to be dropping or landing quite tail high for me, which is very unusual. Darts for me normally land very, very level. Yeah, again. Well, I've got to say they seem to be flying alright. Try a bit of grouping with them. Right, so let's have us first handful with them and see how they fly. They actually don't feel too bad. I've got to say that they don't feel too bad, but I'm not absolutely convinced about the. Yeah, they're not straight. Looking at that dart there, if I twist that round, the actual flight and stem oscillates as it goes round. So the flight and stem isn't straight, and that can't be good for accuracy. It can't. $95. first chuck, 95. 100. And 81. Right, so that's the zero stress, and I can see here what the idea of them is as one dart comes in, if you've got another one that's really well grouped, the actual whole stem and flight just sort of like yields to the next dart coming in. So I can see what the point is behind them, I can see why they've done it the way they've done it, but there's only one of them that's actually straight, and that's that one. Right, so now what we're going to do is we'll dismantle these, we'll come back in 2 seconds, and we'll have a go with the axe. So let's go and have a go with that. Yeah, these are 10 times better, these. That's straight, that's actually straight, that one. And you can tell the feel of them straight away. This feels like a far better product. Feels like a far better product than the other ones. Right, so these are... This is how Carl throws his darts now, so let's see what we can do with Carl's combination. But yeah, I've got to say these do feel a lot better, hell of a lot better. I've got to say I'm impressed with these. Right, so it's a kit, I think. Still flexible enough to move out of the way to a degree, but not right, so what I'm going to do now is let's have us first handful with them, and let's have a see what these fly like. These are a slightly different stem. I think these are long stems. These are long stems with a slightly smaller flight. See, now look at the difference in that, the way that they sit in the board. They sit nice and flat in the board compared to the other ones. The other ones were sat right up in the air. So a far better piece of kit all round, I think. $140. $95. Straight over a little bit into the treble 5. Ooh. $140. Well, that just shows the difference between these and the rubbery ones. We've gone there, we've been in a couple of big scores, back-to-back 140s. So yeah, and Mac from Atomic Darts also loves these, and he's a representative for the company. So Condor, yeah, started off a little bit shaky, but these are the real deal. These are a little bit more expensive, but in my opinion, they're worth it, because they are actually like a proper flight and stem combination. How tough and how long they'll last is entirely up to you. I mean, obviously, unless I do a long-term test on them, I won't know that. Right, so thanks for watching Darts Coaching with Dynamite Dave. I hope you enjoyed this little review on the Condor Zero Stress and the Condor Axe system. Condor Axe system, far better, far better product, and just about getting there, I think. Absolutely bang on. Get, lads and lasses, you'll only ever get out of this game what you're prepared to put in. And always, 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 till to the hockey!